What's going on? Huh? Having a good time? Good time? I hope so. Let's make sure I have my right audio on. I got my good video. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Our Wednesday stream. We are back to our regular schedule here as I am off the road for the only time in May. This is the only week that I am off the road. After that, it is Scoop Fest. After that, it is continuing the pregnancy tour to my home state of Florida, and then we will be off to DC. 13 tickets left, 12 tickets left for the DC live show. 13 tickets. Let me update it to make sure. Yeah, 13 tickets. Should be a great show. Very excited to get out to old DC, the district, as they say. I'm not worried about it. We got 72 people, and we will get to 85. I don't think that we're going to have much of a problem with that. Anywho, folks, do we need to talk about the college protests or not? I'm genuinely curious for you guys, the listeners to the stuff that I do. I've always said that the live stream is, you guys are my DNA, right? Everything else, you got looky-loos, you got people that'll come in, come out, you get emails like, hey, I haven't listened to you for a year, but I turned you back on. That's podcast stuff, right? YouTube's even worse. We're now a video show. So now YouTube, people flit in and they flit out. They're like hummingbirds. But you, anybody who's listening or watching me right now, you are somebody whose opinion I greatly care about because you guys watch the most of me. So let me lay out the thoughts of just covering the protests in the college campuses before we even get into it. All right. I'm of the belief that this is a vanishingly small amount of humans, nor does it really have much impact on, well, anything. I don't really think it has much of an impact on the presidential election, and I sure as hell know it doesn't have any impact on anything that is happening in the Middle East. A minority of young people go to college, a minority of that minority go to elite colleges, and a minority of that minority are protesting. So, how much do we care about several hundred privileged students? And to that, I ask you guys, how much do we care? Let's get to the real question of who's organizing and funding them. That is the question from Sid Floyd. Not a lot. I want to hear your thoughts. Political science professor at a university here, the vanishing minority take is right. No one on this campus even farts in the direction of caring. Wake me up when they burn something. Congressman Jamal Bowman was complaining on X about police intervention in Colombia, saying that the protests were peaceful. The college professor says, my gut instinct says they are trying to get out of exams. Well, they certainly didn't do it at the beginning of the semester, now did they? No. This did not happen at the beginning of the semester. It happened at the end of not just the semester, but the school year. All right. let me rank these in the order of which I think matter to our purview, right? If you're listening to me, I think if I get culture stuff, if I do other stuff, that's on the side, right? What you really care about is the political element of this. And I will say that it's certainly, I think this is a lot more Summer of the Shark than it is, the 2020 riots. The 2020 riots were something that I think legitimately terrified a already frightened populace because they were very big, they were very long, they were very violent. And we were a country on edge. Let's not forget that the death of George Floyd brought together Rush Limbaugh and the Breakfast Club. Whenever you want to know how, there's this revisionist history on the right of like people being like, oh, anybody who said anything nice about George Floyd, like you cucked by the left. Rush Limbaugh was on the Breakfast Club. Okay. All right. It's a weird time. It was a weird time. Everybody was locked up. We didn't know if we were going to be locked up forever. Like there was a lot of things that were going on. Odd time. Anyway, I think that these campus protests are essentially the Summer of the Shark. They are very, very small comparatively, and they are being covered wall to wall. I've taken in my office to leaving 24-hour news on a small screen because I want to fuck around on Twitter less. So I figure like if I need that momentary dopamine hit, I can just look over and then be disgusted by 24-hour news and then get back to work. But they're covering this like it's the Cuban Missile Crisis. Live images from Austin, where I live, where there were UT protests that were broken up. And then, of course, Columbia, which seems to be the fulcrum of all of this. There was a 2 p.m. deadline to disperse the encampment. Why does it always end in encampments, by the way? When was Occupy Wall Street? Like, there's like a phase where people are like, okay, it's not just a protest. We're not doing a thing and leaving. We're just staying here. And that's our protest. 2012, it's almost 20 years ago. They're cosplaying as poor. So that being said, right, even if we understand that this is Summer of the Shark, it doesn't make America look more put together, right? It makes America look less put together. So if one of the things that is right now hurting Joe Biden is that everything we thought Trump was going to be, Biden actually was. The economy did fall apart, or inflation has risen, right? I'm hyperbole here, so please don't yell at me. The economy's not great. The world is literally on fire this time. Putin is on the march like we thought he was going to be with Donald Trump. And we are seeing unrest in the streets that is unprecedented. That's the number one thing, right? So that's the only thing I think actually matters is that, like, does a Summer of the Shark level media hype damage Joe Biden? All right. And that's like a fringe, right? I don't really think that it matters. The next part of this is something cultural. And here it is. I feel bad for these kids. I do. I feel really bad for these kids. Let's not forget, these are the kids who had their entire senior years ruined. These are the kids that had to do Zoom graduations. These are the kids that had to do Zoom proms. These are the kids, at least the ones that are seniors, that had to deal with a lot of this stuff. And I feel bad for a generation that got kicked in the head. And these kids did get kicked in the head. Not in an existential way of, oh, we got a bad beat. No, like for many of us, our high school and collegiate experiences were formative. It helped us understand the parameters of the world. I've been highly critical of colleges and the collegiate experience, but there's no doubt to me that I became more of a man by the end of it because I was forced to deal with responsibility that I had not dealt with in the past, and they got robbed of that. They got robbed of their senior year. They got robbed of their freshman year, like especially at these schools where they were very careful. I feel bad for them. I do. Um, so a few people are talking about President Trump is speaking at the Libertarian Convention. He's opposite us. Hold on. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. I can't believe fucking Chungus is counter programming us. Is this for real? I'm going to do my own speech as Trump at We're Not Wrong Live. That's humiliating. That's humiliating for the libertarians. Humiliating. You're trying to beat this guy. And you're going to let him speak at your convention where you're going to nominate somebody who's going against him? That's humiliating. So the Libertarian Party is not going to nominate a candidate. Donald Trump is effectively the Libertarian candidate. But RFK too far. RFK too far. Oh, no. So what happened to the guy who was on Tim Pool all the time? Mr. Rosencrantz. The party itself is low moral character. Oh, I got takes. I got takes. JDS says this is fake. Let's get all right. Do I got to do some sleuthing? Let's do some sleuthing. Donald Trump Libertarian Convention. So, staff writer for the Washington Post put the same link in. Libertarian Party, 28 minutes ago. We sent a letter to the campaigns of both former President Trump and President Biden recently. We were happy to announce that we received this response from President Trump. I'm in. That's humiliating. All right, people are saying it's fake. If it's fake, the Post bought it. The Libertarian National Party Twitter account is tweeting about it. Yeah, this looks real, dog. This will be a humiliating experience for the Libertarian Party unless Donald Trump says the phrase low moral character on stage. So, all right, here's my take on this. If he is speaking, it's merely embarrassing because they couldn't sell tickets. And so they needed to bring in Chungus to essentially dilute their party. That's why he's there. He's not there to drum up support for the Libertarian Party, nor is he particularly libertarian. He has taken the Republican Party further away from libertarian values. I mean, look, it feels like one of the biggest lessons of politics is that chaos only brings you so far. Revolutions are really fun when they depose people you don't like until you realize that somebody does have to run this shit. Somebody's got to actually do something. And if the Libertarian Party is essentially just folding itself into the Republican Party, then what's the point of having ballot access? Surrender your ballot access. We will get Heaton's reaction on the We're Not Wrong program. Because again, we're being counter-programmed by Big Chungus. I saw that the We're Not Wrong show, doing a live show in Washington, D.C., a place that I used to know very well. Well, I'm coming back. And I'm counter-programming them. Because the Libertarian Party, great party, bent over for me. Bend over and make it clap, Libertarian Party. Donnie wants to see the ring. Last night, the biggest use of police on a college campus in 40 years. Let's talk about Trump going somewhere in almost a month. Yeah. Pretty much sums up what we're talking about. Yeah. Do we want to talk about local trespassing? We can. I'm for people enforcing trespassing laws. But the trespassers have a really good point. Okay, yeah. So where in the trespassing law does it say if you have a really good point, you're immune from them? Cool. The point of protesting and doing something that's illegal is getting arrested. That's the brave part of protesting. Again, look, people get all this. There's no like out of a law because you are on the right side of history. And let's, for the sake of this argument, assume that everybody who was in that building in Colombia was on the right side of history. You're still doing something illegal to make a point. Good. Point made. Doesn't mean you don't get arrested. It cheapens your protest if you don't have consequences for this kind of protest. This is, I just don't get the like all calories, no fat version of this kind of stuff. If you're doing something illegal, you should face the consequences, regardless of the reason why you did the illegal thing. It cements their point. Like I am on the side, I am saying that's what makes this protest something more than just holding up a sign. I'm not even arguing against their point. I tend to be more on the side of things that are that would be radical to make your point known. I'm on the side. Look, if you believe in it, then go do it. If you need to break a law, then break a law. But don't be fucking butthurt when you go to jail. Be proud that you went to jail. Be proud that you were somebody who stood up against a society that had legislated out your ability to be right. The most famous protesters in the world went to jail. So that's fine. That's the mechanism by which it's important. The larger thing is the justification. Now, do I think that if Colombia divested from their Israeli investments, that it would materially change the plight of the people of Gaza? No, I don't. I don't think that. That's what they're protesting for. But that's fine. Again, I feel bad for them. They're a generation that got kicked in the teeth. But I'm fine with the police going in and getting them the hell out of there. The college asked them to. Police didn't run up on there by themselves. College said, get these kids the hell out of there. They did. There we go. And some of them should be punished, if not expelled. One of my friends got kicked out of school because he climbed a light post during the celebration of Syracuse winning the national championship. That was fucked up. Fallen Trail, Mandela's a bad example. I'm not here to look for perfect people when it comes to protesting. I don't think that everybody needs to be a storybook hero or a storybook villain. People are trying to make their points. They go about what they do. Nelson Mandela was a great man, even if he did fucked up things on the road. It's a fucked up situation. But it's, look, Columbia made a call, said somebody was in the building. They won't get out. Police, come in and get them out. Police got them out. Okay. Seems like dog bites man. But again, we're talking about such a small portion of society. Again, the vast majority of young people don't go to college. The vast majority of people who go to college don't go to an elite institution, and the vast majority of the people that are going to those elite institutions aren't protesting. So we're talking about hundreds of people. We are talking about the listenership of my shit. In fact, probably less people than listen to me that know Justin Robert Young as a name are the people that we are talking about like it's the number one story in America. And I don't have that big of an audience. Campus security is not there. Campus security is essentially security theater. Public schools are different because you actually have cops there, but yeah, public safety. Like I was friendly with the public safety people because I was on the cops beat when I was reporting at the Daily Orange, but they're there to basically knock on the door and say you shouldn't smoke weed. It's pretty much it. I can't believe the libertarians are getting cucked like this. What cuckoldry? I mean, we are thrilled to share some exciting news with you. For the first time in history, the Libertarian Party will welcome a former president to our national convention. That's right, President Donald J. Trump will be joining us as a special guest speaker Friday night, May 24th. This momentous occasion presents a unique opportunity of our party to engage with a prominent figure in American politics and share our libertarian ideals. President Trump has graciously accepted our invitation to address our delegation, and we couldn't be more excited to present him with a list of libertarian grievances. Blah. Blah. He's going to present you with something else that he's going to ask you to gargle, and you will obediently. That's where you come in. We want your input on the topics that President Trump will address during his time at the podium. Our convention committee has compiled a list of libertarian topics for him to discuss, and we're giving you the chance to vote. I swear to God, you need to ask him whether or not driver's licenses should be allowed. What's next? A license for my damn toaster. If you've registered for the convention through the website, you're already registered to vote. Deep dop doop, bleep blop bleep. They must have had a really hard time moving tickets. This is desperate. I mean, the list of libertarian grievances, I mean, that's the only reason why. They know they're going to get shit for this. They know they're going to get shit for it. I mean, the only way for this to not be an absolute act of cuckoldry by the Libertarian Party is if people started yelling and screaming at Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had to be forced to regret doing it. But here's the other problem. That's not going to happen because the only person who's going to be selling tickets to this thing is Trump. So it's essentially going to be a Trump rally. Funny enough, next week, we have a member of the Free State movement. In fact, we do have a libertarian on next week. And boy, do I got something to say to this guy. Let's see. There we go. Executive director of the Free State Project. How the libertarian movement is going to grow across the country. Oh, boy. It's going to be fun. How are you going to build a nationwide movement that is electorally effective if you are cucking your party's effectiveness to a frontrunner to a rival party? Do you think that the Libertarian Party's leadership gets off when he watches Donald Trump have his way with the most hardcore supporters of the Libertarian Party? This is one of those like my wife's boyfriend memes in real time. He's not with the Libertarian Party. He's a GOP legislator in Maine. Sean, he's with the Libertarian Party. The last time I talked to him was at the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. He's with the Free State Project, which is officially nonpartisan. Yes, that is true. That is true. Again, the last time I talked to him was at the Libertarian Party headquarters in New Hampshire. So, oh boy. I feel like this has got to be the monologue for Friday, right? It's got to be the monologue. Low moral. No, this isn't low moral character. This is just cuckoldry. Cuckoldry. The Libertarian Party is a cuck party. It's going to enjoy watching another candidate manhandle its supporters. Be really rough with it. Oh, he's going to make them cheer like no libertarian candidate could. Oh, they're going to see a real candidate. I'm going to be a girthy candidate. They call me the bull. Coming out of the pen. Turns out that the Libertarian Party, they're into something called cuckoldry. Cuckoldry, they call it. Yeah, they are actually lib cucks. Hey, we have some good pregnancy news. Ashley does not have gestational diabetes. Oh, boy. That's humiliating. It's just a surrender by the Mises Caucus. Like, at the very least, if you would have had Dave Smith run, then you would have somebody young, you would have somebody who can talk, you would have somebody that could go on talk shows and actually be interesting and funny. You know, he's a Rogan guy. You could really kind of build some of that Rogan coalition. Demonstrate that there's a way forward. But this is just pathetic. The biggest speaker at your convention is going to be another candidate, and you have ballot access across the country. This isn't the fold your hat in half party, right? This is the Libertarian Party. A time-honored tradition of annoying people wasting their vote. But I guess they figured out, you know, we've done all the normal ways that we waste our ballot access. We've nominated people that nobody cares about. We've nominated people that sort of care, but then quit on us at the last minute. Let's do something we've never done before. Let's have a major candidate cuck us at our own convention. Yeah, it's like having ice cream social at having us at Scoop Fest and then constantly losing. We're going to do it like Trump. Yeah, we're going to come in and we're going to cuck them right in front of their own audience. This is truly humiliating. I'm really not understanding your point of view on this. Okay, here, let me explain it. I believe, radical. Okay, here's what I believe. That you, if you are running a party and you are building on the hard work of people to gain ballot access throughout the nation, and that takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of volunteer hours, it takes a lot of dedication. This is a team effort, okay? If you are doing that And if you are taking all of that effort that people have put into this party for decades, time, effort, money to build up to that, then that means that you need to honor their sacrifice by holding a convention and selecting a candidate that they are allowed to vote for. Are you going to win? Probably not. My pitch for the Libertarian Party would just be to find a candidate for which they can push one of your major issues, even if they're imperfect. But libertarians don't like each other. They like to yell at each other. They mostly like to tear down all of the honor, sacrifice, and money that has been put in the grassroots over decades. And so now they've had a particularly violent revolution within their own party. And the people that won don't really have a whole lot of ideas. I mean, they have grievances. They can yell at each other. They can go on Twitter and say a bunch of things, but they don't really have a lot of ideas for the one thing that they inherited that machine to do, and that is to gain votes nationally, because you have ballot access in 50 states. That's rare. It's rare. No other party other than the Republicans and the Democrats have that, except for the Libertarian Party. And so instead of minting a star, hell, maybe it starts off small, right? But maybe you're going to have that person have ballot access across all 50 states. Instead of doing that, they're going to invite their enemy. And whether or not libertarians might, by and large, agree with Donald Trump more than Joe Biden is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Your job is to get people to not vote for Donald Trump, to vote for you. If the Libertarian Party had somebody that could debate Donald Trump up on stage, be a different story, because then you'd be elevating somebody. But they're not. They're just going to have Trump sell tickets and hold a Trump rally at their convention. Aside from the cynical maneuver of selling more tickets to your convention, it is cuckoldry. Cuckoldry. They might as well, the leadership of the Libertarian Party might as well be sitting on a couch while Donald Trump has his way with their party's followers. Cuckoldry. Ashley joins us. Oh, her camera's not on.
Just in time for cuckoldry?
Yeah.
Is my mic on?
Hold on.
That's okay.
Hold on. I was not planning on you being on the stream.
You never are.
I know.
Hi, stream. I came here for breakfast.
All right.
For breakfast.
Now your mic's on.
I came in and I heard cuckoldry and I came running.
Yep.
Look at my shirt that my sister gave me. It says typical, hey, look at me, I'm pregnant.
Yeah,
shirt.
I got you, babe. Hey, we got good news, huh?
We do. I don't have the diabetes, which means it's all carbs and sugar for this little honk.
You don't have the diabetes?
Yeah,
So you are an elite athlete.
I am. I failed one of the 4. So I failed, she said, the hour 2. But that's still considered passing. It's like if you fail 2 or more, that's when they, I guess, get worried. So no finger pricks for me. But I also, I know I was fasting, and I can't help but wonder if, because when I did the initial hour test, so basically the glucose test, you chug what basically tastes, in my case, like a extra sugary flat Sprite, and then you're fasting before, an hour later you get the blood test. That was the initial one that I did that I failed. But the night before, I purposely ate a ton of vegan junk food to get me through the fast. Mm-hmm. And since you're fasting, I guess it shouldn't matter what I ate the night before, but then I ate very well the night before this next 3-hour test where I was just sitting in anger and rage. And I passed that one. So I guess I don't have diabetes. So that's cool. Time to eat like shit again.
Yeah.
While we're watching the libertarians cuckle themselves.
Sorry. I'm stealing Papa Sparky's chat. I'm just going to, the Libertarian Party is selling merch with Donald Trump's face on it. And I'm just gonna quote from the Access Hollywood tape. When they're famous, they let you do it. When you're famous, move on them like a bitch. Hold on. When you're famous.
What goose sweater? Ooh, oh, oh. Sorry. Got to keep the spoon away from the microphone.
Oh, so the merch is down now. We don't know whether or not it's down because they sold too much of it or they have engaged in cuckoldry and people are mad. Okay.
You weren't going to buy one of the shirts for yourself?
I might have. Maybe I will. Would that?
I mean, you got the Kanye shirt
I do have a Vote Kanye.
that aged well.
Yeah. Although he's back now, so maybe I can wear that again.
Yeah.
I think I could wear that to the Libertarian Convention.
When is Libertarian Convention?
The same weekend as our We're Not Wrong
Oh,
show.
so you're not going to go?
Well, no, I mean, well,
Oh, is it?
Trump is speaking at the Libertarian Convention, but he's doing it the same night we have We're Not Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It is really funny. Really, really funny.
Tag my Twitter in at Meryl Bar, Healthy Addict, and I'll take a look.
It would be fun to have merch from the last Libertarian Party ever. I can't imagine that it's going to go over well with libertarians. Libertarians are so famously disagreeable. Like it's a final surrender to not. If you were to have your candidate debate Trump, that's a win. But to just have him do a rally at your convention?
Yeah. It's weird.
What?
It's weird. Weird man.
It'll be huge.
Sometimes I don't understand the libertarians. I don't know that they understand themselves.
They don't. They don't. And that's the biggest thing is that anybody's like, oh, will libertarians be like, libertarians do this, blah, blah, blah. I sentence you to state your very confident opinions of what libertarians are like in front of 5 libertarians, just so you have to get into the 3-hour argument about what is and is not libertarian.
When I worked in big atheism and skepticism, I ran into a lot of libertarians in that space.
Yeah.
And boy, watching them fight was just funny.
They don't like each other.
They would like try and agree with each other because they know that they're flying the same banner.
Yeah.
But then they clearly hated each other.
They hate each other. They don't like each other.
Yeah.
That's just a reality of that movement.
So wild.
Oh man. Oh man. This is like a perfectly made story for our show. I'm so glad it happened with We're Not Wrong. The only question with We're Not Wrong is, do we bump one of the topics? So right now on We're Not Wrong, we've got the death of the motion to vacate with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we have rescheduling weed. I kind of feel like we might just bump Marjorie Taylor Greene's death of the motion to vacate, or just make the Trump thing a huge intro, basically. Did you ever watch Alias?
No.
Alias was one of the first shows that did like super late credits. So like they were a pioneer of that like it wouldn't be like the show starts like, here's the show, and then the show goes. It would have like a cold open. And I think like one of the Alias episodes went like 30 minutes before they showed the credit or the opening thing. I think we'll just start with that. We're just going to start with Trump speaking at the Libertarian Convention. And yeah.
You know what I just was thinking? This is really stupid. Sorry, this is like more personal stuff in our relationship.
Yeah.
Everyone. So I've started to feel baby movements, real small. I wonder if when she's more consistent, we can use her like a magic 8 ball and we just shake her and be like, okay, yeah, kick if you think the set list for We're Not Wrong should be blah, blah, blah. And then we'll shake.
Ooh, yeah, use her as
Yeah.
a random number generator.
Yeah. And then we'll use her kicks to tell us, you know, like kick for yes, do nothing for no.
Yeah.
You have 5 seconds. They don't feel like flutters. I don't know who says like, oh, it's like a little butterfly in there. No, they're not flutters. Not for me. But
Okay, so Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are going to push for the motion to vacate. It will fail. And that'll be that. So we will talk about that, but yeah.
God, this lighting makes me look extra pregnant.
Well, you're pregnant. You're pregnant. Do you not like being pregnant?
It's just weird.
Yeah, you got a big old belly.
But when I sit down, it looks like boom.
You got a belly full of honk.
I do.
Do you want to thank people for buying stuff on the
Yes.
registry?
Oh my God. Like, I think I said this on the podcast already too, but I am utterly overwhelmed. And thank you guys so much. I think it means so much more right now too with, you know, the adventures of fun employment, looking for jobs. I am getting interviews, which is good.
Yeah.
There's
Some funnier than others.
some funnier than others. But especially right now in tech world, it's really hard. And I'm not just applying to tech jobs, but yeah, I am just immensely grateful because every day I become more and more pregnant. I'm like, nobody's going to want to hire me. But yeah, no, appreciate you guys. It means the world. And certainly it will mean a lot to Le Petit Honk
Yep.
when they are here.
The little honker who is moving around. You got woken up this morning with the honk moshing.
Well, I woke up because I had to pee, and then I couldn't fall back asleep because it was like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got up to go get swole and
Yeah.
leave me alone with the honk. Mm-hmm. This is preparation for when you abandon me for political conventions.
Yeah. I think it'll be really fun when the honk's here.
We've got a bunch of emails, so we actually need to do an episode at some point.
We should. Well, we'll do it this weekend
Yeah.
because other than that, we'll do one this weekend and then we'll do one in 2 weeks with Eric and Carolyn.
Yeah.
We'll do a crossover episode of the Jury More podcast and the Young Family podcast. The crossover that you never thought you'd see.
Wow, the birds are really loud today.
Is it illegal for a job to discriminate against pregnant women?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, but there is also a law on the books that if it's like part of, I think FMLA is like the Family Maternal Leave Act. If you are working for a smaller company, so like I've been really interested in maybe going to startups, so I've been exploring that as an option. But if they have less than 50 employees, they can technically let you go. I don't know that they can say it's because of pregnancy,
Yeah.
but it can be like, well, we really need someone in the position and we can't go 2 months or
Right
whatever
now,
you
yeah.
need. So for less than 50 employees, it can become problematic. Greater than that, no. I think my main concern is because most of the companies that I'm talking to have more than 50 people, but if I do have to interview in person anywhere, you know, they won't say
Yeah.
that's the reason why. But luckily, I think for my 2 current companies that I'm talking to, all my interviews will be remote. So hopefully
Yeah.
There's one I really want, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to, talk to some of these places that some of them are really, really cool. I would actually be really excited for you to get them. And the last two that you've gotten calls on were Austin. They had Austin offices, but were like you could work.
One of them I could work fully remote.
Yeah.
The other one I would have to go in 3 days a week.
But that's, at least we would be you'd be going the opposite direction of traffic. Wouldn't you?
Downtown?
Yeah, normally people.
Downtown is where people go to work.
Oh, okay. I think I'm thinking of different places.
Yeah.
'Cause-
There's one company that sounds like a clock that I'm interviewing with that's downtown.
Yeah.
And then the other one has an office up north that won't require me to come in.
Yeah. But you'd probably have to stop in every once in a while.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you have to go 35 north, you're hosed. No, we would not be doing. We're on the Mopac side.
Yeah, well, most of the companies that what I do, that would want me for what I
Yeah.
do are either going to be downtown or up Mopac somewhere. So like a lot of them are up by the Domain or
Yeah, but
like that side of
Didn't we
town.
chart it out the one that sounds like a clock that their office is like you would just take First Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So
The
you
First
wouldn't-
Street gets
yeah,
backed up.
Yeah. But you wouldn't be on a highway.
Yeah. We'll see.
For everybody in the chat, yes, it's why it's really funny.
What's really funny?
It's just everything that goes along with the possibilities of working for a certain company.
Oh, yeah.
It would be very funny. It'd be very
Yeah.
funny. And that's all we're going to say about it.
We'll see. I had the manager interview on that, so TBD. I should have the manager interview supposedly this week with the other company, but they haven't scheduled it yet. They said they were going to. So I assume it's getting bumped to next week.
Yeah.
But
We'll see. We'll see. Well, shit. I guess I'll just shut it down here and get ready for. I guess I'll do a little prep. I'll do a little reading on this this Trump at the Libertarian Convention thing, because now we're going to add that to the intro.
yeah.
Does that mean that Justin is Mr. Mom? Well, hopefully, we will both be in the house.
Yeah. So
That's the hope, and that
Yeah.
we can maybe forestall daycare as much as we can. But I think we're going to wind up doing daycare no matter what.
Yeah,
because-
I have the kid already on list because you have to do that before they're born. Apparently, I'm even late to get them onto a list. But from friends of ours who were both work from home workers, they said that you can kind of get away if you're both work from home and you juggle each other's schedules around baby needs, which I
Yeah.
think with between your schedule and whatever mine is, that
Yeah.
should be doable, that you can put off daycare at least till they're mobile. Once they're mobile, all bets are off. Like you need more support.
You got to put him somewhere.
Yeah. But with work from home flexibility, even in like corporate world, it's pretty easy to like split things up a bit more if you have to. So that's what I'm hoping for. But
Yeah. We'll see.
that only works if I'm not going into an office. If I'm going into an office, that changes things.
Yeah. But we'll make it work. That's it. I'm going to get ready for We're Not Wrong. Buy tickets to our DC show. We're now up against Trump. Okay. Bye. We're out of here.